Hey guys, Trev here from SpineWise. I'm so glad to be joining you again today. Today I really want to talk to you about something that's a little bit different, and that is the link between your tooth and gum health with your general health. So if you're someone who's got periodontal disease, if you've got maybe pockets or gingivitis, you bleed when you're brushing, you want to watch this because this is going to show you how important this actually is for your general health, not just for your appearance and your teeth. Like always guys, if you're watching through, please like our page, share with your friends, and also subscribe to our YouTube channel. This is the easiest way we have it getting information out, and it's always great to know that people are appreciating the work that we're doing to help you guys out as much as we can. But anyway, let's get into it. I want to talk to you about a little bit about the way the oral mechanism works and how the health generally works in terms of keeping your gums healthy and why we develop things like periodontal disease. If you hang around to the end, I'm going to give you some tips on how you can go about potentially reversing that as well. Alright, so let's have a look at our teeth. This is our teeth themselves. We head all the way down. This is the bone around our teeth, and this is our gum line coming through here. And we all know about plaquing, and we all know about the little crystal kind of forms, that little yellow hard stuff, tartar, that builds up around the gum line. But do you really know what that actually is and why that's so important for you? So what we understand is that there is a direct link, an absolute direct link between gum health, tooth health, so our oral cavity health, and things like cardiovascular disease, the immune system, digestive function, a complete correlation with those things as well. There's also a close correlation between that and some very specific conditions as well, so things like diabetes and stuff like this as well. And that's not saying this causes it, but we know that there is some form of association that's happening through them. So what happens is we have these things formed called biofilm. So in our mouth is full of bacteria. And what happens is that these bacteria, they need a place to grow and replicate. So they build these little, call them like houses, that form around the root or around the base of our teeth, that near the gum line itself. There's a little polysaccharide matrix that they land in there, and that allows the bacteria to have this safe place to grow and start developing. And as they grow and replicate, they throw this bacteria out into the mouth itself, and that keeps them flourishing, keeps them going. If calcium happens to hit that, that'll harden up, and that's when we get those things called tartar form, those little yellow plaques that sit around your gum line. And it really is that biofilm that's building up and breaking down. And as that progresses, what actually eventually happens is the gum actually leaves the tooth, and we end up with what's called a pocket in there. And the whole reason these bacteria love the pocket is because they love iron, like most bacteria does. They love iron for growth, and it can stimulate and help them grow. But the other thing is, most of these bacteria are what we call anaerobic bacteria. In other words, they live without oxygen. They cannot handle air in any way, shape or form. So they want to have a nice tight environment without air. So by forming these little pockets and living down here in these deep pockets, what ends up happening is they have an environment that they can produce, they get the nutrients they need, they get the warmth they need, but they also have an oxygen-free environment. So how do we traditionally go about dealing with this? So what we normally do is we take a dental probe, and that dental probe we put down through here, and we scrape all of it off the edge of the tooth in what's known as scaling. So we actually grab it and we just scrape all that off, and by doing so what we're doing is pulling that bacteria biofilm off, and that kind of helps the tooth heal. But you'll hear a lot of people talk about they get that process done, that scaling, that root scaling done, and still they have these gums that don't necessarily look healthy, they don't behave healthy, and they don't respond in the right way. So the way the immune system normally deals with this, the way that the body itself deals with this without the scaling, is it throws these things called hydroxyl-free radicals at them. And hydroxyl-free radicals are really important. So hydroxyl-free radicals are used by your immune system, and they throw it at that bacteria, and these free radicals actually cause destruction of the bacteria themselves. And it's one of the key ways that our innate immune system works is by using those free radicals. The problem with those free radicals is when those free radicals hit the gum tissue itself, they also create damage, create inflammation to the gum tissue, which actually has the potential to make things worse. So the way the body gets around this is it uses a substance known as glutathione, and that glutathione converts those hydroxyl-free radicals into water. Okay, so our OH minus gets bound, the glutathione donates what we call a hydrogen atom towards it, and that converts our OH minus into H2O. And that becomes a harmless substance which the gums don't have any negative issues with. So that's the normal process that occurs. So what often happens in people who have these periodontal issues is that we find that their glutathione levels and a couple of the substances like catalase and the like are quite low in their system. And when the glutathione levels are low, what happens then is we have these free radicals getting formed and thrown to try and clear this area out. But the result of that is we just create an inflammatory process in the gum itself. So what can we do about this? Because this is really important for our general systemic health. We need to make sure we have really, really good oral health in order to make sure that our digestive system, our cardiovascular system, and our immune systems, amongst a whole lot of other systems, are maintaining themselves in a good way. So what can we do about this? All right, so as we said to start with, is these things are anaerobic bacteria, and they live, as we said before, in biofilm. Biofilm. Okay, and that biofilm is a matrix, like a glue, that holds them to the tooth and provides like a house, a protective nature to them. So the first thing we need to make sure is that we're cleaning our teeth properly. There's a whole lot of different ways you can do that. Dentists use things like dental probes to do scaling. Brushing your teeth can brush them off, which is one of the real important reasons why we do need a brush, is to get the plaque, which is often referred to, or the biofilm, away from the root line, or the gum line I should say, to clear all those things out. And we can always use things like flossing and water picks and things like this to also clean them and scrub that area free as well. So a mechanical removal is the first process we need to do. Next thing then we really need to do when we're having periodontal issues is we need to look at our glutathione stores, okay? Glutathione is really, really, really critical with anyone who has any form of gum health problem. So we need to get that glutathione count up. And there's a ton of different ways you can get glutathione up. You can actually get reduced glutathione now as a supplement. S-acetylglutathione is another amazing supplement which absorbs really, really readily into the body and also gets into the mitochondria as well. But the easiest way to get glutathione in, which is one that we've used here for a long time, I've seen a lot of people have some amazing changes with periodontal health using it, is a substance known as N-acetylcysteine, N-A-C, N-acetylcysteine. N-acetylcysteine is a precursor to glutathione, and it really does get the glutathione level up really quickly in terms of what we're talking about with the oral cavity. So there's one thing that we can look at in terms of getting glutathione up. The other thing we want to do is we want to keep this area of the mouth as healthy as possible, and by far the most incredible product that I have seen do this is a product called OraMD. So when you look at most of your mouthwashes and toothpaste and things like this, most of them have some form of mint in them, either spearmint or peppermint. And the real reason for that, spearmint and peppermint, has been basically shown to wipe out all of your anaerobic bacteria that invade the mouth. Okay, I'm probably being a little bit exaggerated there, but the bulk of it to get rid of this. The biggest problem with spearmint and peppermint is they evaporate so quickly. So as soon as you put it into your mouth, within a few seconds it's evaporated and then you've got no protection left. So this company with OraMD has done an amazing product, and what they've basically done is taken their spearmint and peppermint and added it to sweet almond oil, and the sweet almond oil actually acts as a barrier to stop the spearmint and peppermint leaving the mouth and leaving the tooth. So it forms in itself a little barrier through here in which the OraMD stays in, and that constantly keeps the gum line healthy and keeps these anaerobic bacteria at bay. I've seen some people go from having deep, dark red inflamed gums to having bright pink healthy gums within 2 or 3 weeks of using it. It's fantastic. You only need to use 1 or 2 drops. Use it as a mouth drop or as a toothbrush. It works an absolute treat. If you need any, we've always got some here in our office. There's tons of other uses for it as well that I've seen, but we'll stick to this for now. So you can just post up or message me and we'll get some out to you. An amazing, amazing, amazing product. Okay, next thing I want to look at is there's a really cool strain that's now been spoken about of probiotic called L-reuteri. Reuteri is a really cool substance. It's one of the most deficient probiotics in the Western world period. It's an absolutely amazing thing. The research coming out on Reuteri now is overwhelming about the benefits it has, from gut health to oral health and all these kind of things. So Reuteri is one of the things that, from what we've seen, seems to be damaged by high carbohydrate intake, and that's not a scientific thing. That's just one of the things that I've observed over the years, or over recent times, I should say. But we can now get Reuteri in a format that's specifically designed to help oral health. So it's just a lozenge that you can suck on. As you suck on it, it helps release all this good positive probiotic stuff into the mouth, which competes with our anaerobic bacteria and helps improve that as well. So we've got them here in our office if you need to. Works an absolute treat as well. The other one, which is really amazing, which might shock you, is pomegranate. Pomegranate is absolutely fantastic for the oral cavity. Knocks out a lot of the anaerobic bacteria. Also works on things like E. coli, strep mutans, which is one of the main bacteria that invades the whole oral cavity. So it works really well with that as well. You can get that as a herbal tincture, which is probably the best way to do it. It's a bit more potent, has a lot more of the positive particles in it that we need, as opposed to having the huge sugar source of the fruit itself, although the fruit will still be of benefit, I'm sure. And the final one that I want to look at too is hyperbaric therapy. So hyperbaric is an amazing way of getting oxygen to tissues, and there's some good evidence now showing that if we combine root scaling, so an actual proper dental clean, with hyperbaric, we get some phenomenally more beneficial results. Hyperbaric is an amazing way of delivering oxygen to these tissues, stimulating immune function, reducing inflammation, which is all exactly what we need to do when we're trying to wipe out these areas here. As I said, still early days in the research, but there is a lot of really good research that's coming available with it. All right, guys, so there's a nice introduction into oral health for you. So we want to make sure we understand that there's a link between gum health and your general health, so please don't ignore your gums. It's really important that we keep them healthy and clean. Cleaning them mechanically, whether it be through water picks, flossing, toothbrush, dental cleans, whatever needs to be done. Glutathione is the main big one. We really want to get our glutathione counts healthy, which is all a liver cleansing system, or a system produced through the liver. Our main hydrogen donor as well in terms of free radical removal. Aura MD is a great product. You can just use it routinely at home as well as just a mouthwash, or as a toothpaste as well in some regard. Pomegranate works amazingly well. There's some early but good research showing a link between pomegranate use and reduction in periodontal disease. Reuteri, great probiotic. We've got some of that stuff here, and hyperbaric therapy as well. Mild hyperbaric seems to work really well with all this stuff. So all this stuff we've got available here in our office. If you're having issues and you want to have a chat about that stuff, please feel free to do so. Please don't ignore your oral health. It is really, really important to understand that oral health is there's a very, very close connection between oral health and other aspects of health. Whether they're causation or not, nobody really understands yet, but we do know the two seem to go together. So we want to get there and deal with these things and prevent them as best we possibly can. But if you are seeing early signs, sometimes inflammation within the gums itself, or just a reddening of your gums, can be actually an early warning sign that some of those more significant issues health-wise are starting to develop in your system. So we want to get onto them as soon as we possibly can. Anyway, guys, if you have any questions, please post them up. If you're after any of the products we've spoken about here, please message me or post them up what you're after. Just post up something like pomegranate, or post up RMD, or post up glutathione, Reuteri, whatever it is, and my team will have a chat to you and get that stuff out to you if we think that's going to be benefit for you as well. Otherwise, please, again, like, share our videos, subscribe to our YouTube channel. Always great to know that people are appreciative of the work that we're doing and the time and effort it takes to produce these videos for you guys. Anyway, guys, if you have any other questions, feel free to message me. Otherwise, I shall catch up with you in the next bit. Bye for now. See you guys.